Hello, welcome back. GovDoc Breakdown, where we don't tell you what to think, we just give you the facts of the case. April 22nd here, we are wading into some more new waters. We hit the HHS and the FDA. Now we're going to the State Department, where Secretary Rubio went on a podcast with Bari Weiss and talked about a number of things. So this is kind of just a State Department update for you guys. So they talked about the recent announcement to restructure the State Department. It's a pretty big restructuring. And Rubio says that it's not just about saving money, it's actually making foreign policy more practical and faster by moving responsibilities away from Washington to regional embassies and offices that will allow for faster decision making and make better decisions based on local conditions. They also touched on immigration. Rubio pointed out that Trump's floating the idea of sending Americans to El Salvadorian prisons might not be legal and would have to consult with the DOJ on that to weigh in. But he reiterated the State Department's responsibility to help make sure countries take back their citizens who are in the U.S. illegally. Moving to Iran here. So Rubio mentioned that the U.S. wants peace with Iran. But it is ready to stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons at any cost. So he said that the talks are ongoing, but in the early stages, and he believes a war with Iran would be messy and costly. So he wanted to reiterate that the State Department would like to have a diplomatic solution as opposed to a warring solution. On that front as well, the U.S. is still trying to broker peace between Ukraine and Russia, but Rubio says he is not sure Russia and Ukraine are close enough to agree on a settlement. He also reiterated that there is, in his opinion, no military solution to this conflict. But if the two sides continue to be so far apart, that the United States may actually have to shift focus elsewhere. They also talked about U.S.'s continued support for NATO, but the need for NATO countries to pay their fair share to support the alliance. China was a big topic. Rubio saying that the U.S. must stop being reliant on China for critical goods. And as a part of that, the U.S. must reindustrialize to prepare not to fight a war, but to avoid one by being strong enough to deter one. Interesting there. Also, another interesting thing, when Rubio was asked whether America is in decline by the interviewer, he said, only if we keep making bad decisions, bad policy decisions. But the interesting thing that he put here, the way he put it here, he says the old way was promoting democracy everywhere, no matter the cost. And he says the new motto is promoting democracy, but balancing it with security and economic interests. So kind of shows you the view of the State Department and the shift about projecting U.S. power and democracy throughout the world. And finally, they concluded about talking about the message of the Statue of Liberty, which is something that has been brought up. I believe France might need to fact check me on this, but I believe I read somewhere that France was suggesting we give back the Statue of Liberty. So kind of in that same line, Rubio is saying that the Statue of Liberty has always been a beacon welcoming immigrants around the world, and he says that that is still the case, citing that the U.S. welcomes more legal immigrants than any other country in the world, and the only thing that has changed is the enforcement of illegal immigration responses. That is the change. So that's a little State Department update from Marco Rubio here, Secretary of State, I think is his technical title. But yeah, so I wanted to give you the guys that update, and we'll see you on the next one.